Yooka-Laylee is an incredibly strange game, and strange in the way that it's received probably the most mixed reception I've ever seen for a game that looks like it does. Some people absolutely hate the game. Some people think it's not even worthy of being like compared to Banjo-Kazooie. Some people absolutely love the game for what it does and what it stands for and who it's made by. And then there's me. See, I was loving the game when I was doing it on my channel, and then it was one of those few series that I actually ended up canceling. And some of that was due to Sonic Mania hype, but the other was I felt like I was limited with what I was doing when I was playing the game, because when I play a game like that, I want to move at my own pace. And when I have like a 20 to 25 minute time for when I have to play the game and then wait till I get to play it again, it's really hard to get back into it. It took me months to hop back into the game after I stopped doing the series. For one, I was busy with Sonic Mania, but I still had free time to play Yooka-Laylee, but I didn't get back to it. But when I did, I couldn't put it down. I beat the game so damn fast. I mean, the game is great. I think it is actually worthy of being on par with Banjo-Kazooie, even maybe even more so, because there was some elements of this game that I absolutely loved, dreaded, and then questioned why it even existed in the first place. First of all, let's get the story out of the way. Yooka and Laylee are a ragtag duo of a bat and a chameleon who are just chilling in their shipwreck creek, while Laylee's just pondering this golden book that she has, where she doesn't really know what to do with it, but she's like, hey, it's cool looking, I guess. And then the industry that happens to be like really close to where they live is just wreaking havoc and sucking up books, and among those books that get sucked up by a giant contraption that is made by Capital B, this game's head honcho of villainy. Yeah, Capital B sucks up the magical book, which contains pages, and apparently they're all living pages. It's never really stated what this book can actually do, but I guess it has magical power, and Capital B wants a hold of that power for a business that he's working for. It's never outright stated what the business is that he works for, but I'm assuming they're going to be the main villains of the next game, considering the ending of this game. But yeah, your goal is to collect all the pages and stop Capital B. It's super simple, but it works. I mean, Banjo-Kazooie was hella simple. You had to save your sister Tootie from an evil witch who was trying to steal her beauty. Waboom. And you gotta collect Jiggies, because, Grunty's a mischievous little witch, and she has these pieces of world scattered about in her hub world, so she's like, hey, go get them. Like, do what I want. Try and stop me. And then when you get a game over, she succeeds. I thought that was a neat touch. Yooka-Laylee doesn't have any lives or any sort. You can't really get a game over in Yooka-Laylee. You could save whenever you pick up a pagey or whenever you feel like you're done with the game. You can save and exit, which I thought was a nice touch. There are a total of 5 worlds in the game, and a lot of pages. There's a lot of pages. I think there's 125 total. Hold on, let me check. I have my Yooka-Laylee profile open right now. It's 145, and I've collected them all. I've actually 100%ed Yooka-Laylee, which is a testament to the quality. Don't believe me? Let's go take a look at my save file right over here. Let's see. I think it looks like it's in reverse, but that says 1,000 out of 1,000. And that's just 35 out of 35. I got all the achievements. And it's rare that I 100% a game that isn't Sonic related. Speaking of Sonic related 100%ing, I'm almost done with Sonic Mania. I just gotta finish the Blue Sphere stages. But anyways, I'm getting off track. Let's talk about some things that I didn't like about Yooka-Laylee first. The World 4 boss. The World 4 boss pretty much sums up the biggest problem I have with this game, and that's the fucking minecart segments. They control like ass. And, considering that this game was also, like, the music was done by David Wise, who also did Donkey Kong Country, those minecart sections weren't shit. What happened here? Like, the camera decides to, like, pan, because it's 2D, but it's technically in 3D. So, if the camera is, like, turning on the tracks, like, say this is, like, you're doing a turn that's going, like, that way or something, you're not always facing forward. So sometimes you could miss shooting an enemy, and it could cause the whole level to be done again. How you're supposed to succeed in these minecart challenges, you're supposed to collect a certain amount of gems, and then you get a pagey from Kartos, who is the minecart you're riding on. Now, World 4, which is Capital Casino, Great world, by the way, but goddamn, I hate this boss. I was actually screaming when I was fighting this guy, and thank God I was home alone too, because like I don't think I would have been able to beat this game if I had not continued fighting it. Like, you're fighting this security droid on a minecart track just after beating Kardos's challenge, and like I dreaded like if I died on this boss, if I had to complete that level again, I would have quit. But luckily, you don't have to beat the cart challenge again. You just have to start from the boss fight right from the beginning. There's like 5 phases of this fight, and even with max butterflies, which you can't really get max butterflies if you're starting at World 4, because I played this game in order, so I didn't have max butterflies, so I had to like learn this boss's movement patterns and play to like the best of my ability, and even then, it was just a shit fight. It's like really hard to gauge when he's going to attack you. He doesn't really telegraph his patterns directly, and sometimes he just fucking does different things no matter what. It's annoying. It's a bad boss fight. The World 1 boss fight is also a really bad one. The World 2 boss fight's a really bad one just from how long it is. It's not a bad boss fight, but it's a dragging boss fight, and I think that's worse in some categories. The World 3 boss, it was alright. There was no problems with it. I beat it really easily. It was a super easy boss fight. World 5 boss was pretty cool, though. In World 5, it's like a Galleon Galaxy, I think that's what it's called. Oh my god, the music is so good. The scenery is great. The characters in the world are awesome. But the transformation you get is super nice. Like, I think the last two worlds had the best transformations, bar none. Because like World 3 shouldn't even existed. Like that transformation was so pointless. World 2 had an okay transformation, but when it came to platforming, you might as well shoot yourself. And then World 1 just had like a plant transformation where you could just talk to plants for hints and do one pagey. That's it. But the World 4 and World 5 transformations were the shit. Okay, so if all the transformations were like that, I think this game would have been a lot better. But with World 5, you transform into a ship where you can shoot cannonballs, or you shoot grenades, or you can shoot fireball. No, you can shoot a flamethrower, and you can shoot ice balls. So it's basically like a combination of all of Yuka's powers, but without having to eat the plants. And the fight was basically this giant planet that you had to shoot. It would have like different patterns on it. So like if it had like a little crater on it, you shoot a grenade at it. If it was shooting ice, you shoot fire at it. And no, I think if you shoot ice at it, it has ice blocks. I don't know. I don't remember the fight, but I remember having a good time with it. It was like it wasn't too hard. It was actually a lot of fun, and the ship actually controls like a dream. And speaking of the transformations, the World 4 transformation, you turn into a helicopter that can shoot fucking missiles at everything, and it's awesome. It helps you get around the world faster. There are a good amount of pages you can get with it, and you can destroy old slot machines that don't work anymore to get tokens to trade in for pages. So that's how you do transformations. Like, when I think of good transformations, I think of Click Clock Wood from Banjo-Kazooie, where you turn into the bee, and the amount of jiggies you can get with it seem like endless. And it's like, you don't want to climb that tree manually anymore once you're able to have Mumbo's transformation, because you could just fly up that shit. Okay, I think that's about all of the bad... Oh, another bad thing is getting 200 quills for every world. I found that I would always have either like 3, 4, or 2 quills left, and I had no idea where they were. Like, these quills are placed kinda stupidly. It's like they just found empty spots in the map, and they're like, oh, let's put a pile of quills there. Like, in Banjo-Kazooie, the musical notes, like, they would lead you somewhere. They would have purpose as to why they were there. I feel like Platonic needed to take notes on where they needed to put these quills, because I understand that these worlds are huge and they needed to spread them out evenly, but I don't think they've succeeded. In fact, I think with the space that they were given, they did not use the quills effectively as like a teaching tool. Like some platforming challenges would have quills there that you could get naturally, but like 75% of those quills are all hidden in really weird and obscure spots, and it annoyed me to no end. Yeah, there was some times where I'd be spending about like 45 minutes just trying to find the last 2 quills, and it drove me insane. And there's not really guides online that tell you where the quills are. They just kind of like, you just find the quills and be a man or something. That's all the bad that I have. The good, I think the graphics are fantastic. This ran on the Unity engine, which people were complaining that like that's a shitty engine, but they made it work. Like they have a lot of stuff happening at once, and they're able to load it. They have a lot of those like black transitions between doors, and I understand why they did that because they can't have everything loaded at once. But I think what with what they had and the money they had, I think the game looks fantastic. Um, like better than Nuts and Bolts. I know this came out after it, but you got to remember this is a Kickstarter game, and it looks better than a game that was made by like a big ass company. Because Playtonic doesn't have that many members. Like the credits, the reason the credits are so long is because there's so many Kickstarter backers. Like I was on that credit screen for a long time. Luckily, you can fast forward through it. Um, I think like one of the only like really good boss fights was Capital B. And like it pissed me off for sure, but that's because it was a challenging boss fight, but not cheap. Not cheap like World 4's boss where it was kind of just like, you're fighting an asshole. No, Capital B's an asshole, but he's a good asshole. Like he's a good villain. Same with I didn't really like uh, Dr. Quack too much because his quiz things pissed me off, but you can get through them relatively quick. I feel like Capital B had the most solid character uh, when it goes to villains, because there's really only two villains. Um, I really like Trouser. Trouser's great. I love the voice I gave him in my playthrough. Honestly, if this game wasn't the game it was, I would have finished it on the channel, but I did finish it. I 100%ed it. I even got all those like skull things that you find in the map, the pirate treasures. I don't even know what those do, but I found them all and I got an achievement for it. Um, the as of now, the 64-bit Tonic hasn't released yet, but it's free DLC, so I'm super excited to see that. I might just do a bonus video of Yooka-Laylee just showing off the 64-bit Tonic. I might go through Galleon Galaxy and like Tribal Step Tropics and like talk to people, and then I'm gonna do the Capital B final boss fight, and then that'll be it. And like I'll show you guys what the game would look like with Banjo-Kazooie graphics. But I thought this game was fantastic. Like, if I didn't 100% it, I'd still be playing it now. But I was dedicated to 100%ing the game so I could review it. And I'm sorry that this review took a while to come out. It was all dependent on me finishing the game when I could, and I did. So I hope this review explains a lot about how I feel about the game and like why I canceled the series. Um, I do I actually do know what the next game is going to be, but I'm not going to tell you guys. I'm going to give you guys a hint. But the game is going to start mid-November, and it's made by Sonic Team, but it's not a Sonic game. Have fun guessing that. I hope you had a good time on Ride Time. I will see you all next time.